What's happening, YouTube? You're back in the building with Lamont Tyson, aka Life Games. It's our Friday show. I'm going to introduce what we'll be talking about today as all the players that join this set come in. T-Streams and Larry, they'll be getting up here real soon. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like my video, leave me comments on everything we cover. If you really enjoy this channel, feel free to super chat us. Leave us your messages up here, and be sure to shop lifegames.com to get yourself one of these beautiful Rosa Parks American Hero t-shirts. Now, what are we talking about today, ladies and gentlemen? McDonald's in China trying to ban black people, posting signs to ban black people in China. We got my man Larry up in this joint.
Bloop, 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 bloop. What's up, everybody?
What's up? I'm just giving them the rundown on what we're talking about, Larry. So listen to these crazy stories. Who needs reality TV? Oh, Lord, what you got in that cup?
I got some juice in here. I got some grown folk juice.
I got some grown folk juice too. Check that out.
There we go. What
What's
you got?
in here?
Protein drink?
What's in here? Give you them cuts for the sluts. So we got McDonald's in China banning black people.
I heard.
God, you heard about that? Lord have mercy. We've also got, and Mike Willie, shouts out to you, fam, man. I love you. God bless you, brother. We also got, there's a new list, and this is a list you don't want to be on, Larry.
I don't know.
The 10 celebs in Hollywood with the worst breath.
Ooh, yeah, you don't want to be on that list.
They say when you walk by these people, it's like smelling hell. Every time.
Halitosis, man. You know they have enough celebrities. You should have enough money to get that taken care of.
Hey, man, sometimes it comes from your insides, brother.
You can change your diet then.
Yeah, man. We got COVID-19 news. There's this new drug called Remdesivir that is showing promise that it can work. They did a trial with about 500 people. 68% of those people wind up showing improvement in their symptoms after the trial. And we've also got the $2,000 a month initiative that was pushed by Tim Ryan. Well, Larry, since we talked about that on Wednesday, 100 congressional folks have jumped on board with it. And then, last but not least, we'll finish this thing off with a little HBO Max is trying to rev up their streaming service, and they're going to be dropping a brand new live-action Green Lantern and Justice League Dark. Should be really good. Yeah, man. I'm all over.
So I didn't know that. That sounds like it might be cool.
Hey, man.
I need a haircut. Anybody out there? Anybody out there that's Rona free can come by and fade me up?
See, you got your Rona hair going. You know what I'm saying?
But see, I'll just cut it off. I won't be like one of these chicks up there making excuses. I know my hair is jacked. I'll just cut it off.
Hey, man, what you trying to say, man? They was mad because they didn't like Becky got in on Black Twitter and tried to give them a suggestion of how they can get their fake hair products. And they got
that wasn't Becky who did that. That wasn't Becky. That was Karen.
Oh, it was Karen that did.
Karen.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get on into it. People want to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is this McDonald's in China, southern tip of China, close to Africa. Guangzhou, China. They was taking a mandatory break, and they've been having their issues with COVID-19. As we all know, it originated in China. Well, someone posted a sign that said, "No blacks allowed." And the reason that is such a big issue is because China has been spreading the propaganda that COVID-19 has been widespread in the neighboring country in Africa, where a lot of those Africans in that country come and migrate to China. As a matter of fact, this particular city has the largest volume of blacks in China. this particular city in China that's got the McDonald's that banned blacks. Well, McDonald's had to walk that shit back, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to say they don't know how the sign got up. They don't know who did it. They want people to know that they love blacks. It got so bad that the ambassador to China told Black Americans, if you're in this city, do not go into the metropolitan area because they're treating blacks bad. Larry,
really? That bad?
Larry, can black people escape racism anywhere?
No.
Doesn't look like it.
No. I think I'm just gonna have to do my Elizabeth Warren answer. When she answered, "Would you want to be VP?" She just simply said, "Yes." I'm just gonna have to give that answer for racism. No, there's nowhere to escape it. It's not happening. Plain and simple.
What can McDonald's do to fix this error? And first of all,
McDonald's should say that every black person on the planet gets a free combo meal once a week for the rest of their life.
Well, damn.
That's what they should do.
Damn, man, that might bankrupt them, man. My God, that's a heavy penalty. What the fuck? Bruh, come on, man. You gotta be
in all seriousness, man, what McDonald's should do, and I don't know if that's a corporate-owned store or if it's a franchise. If it's a franchise store, and it was known that if the franchisee knew that they did, McDonald's corporate should just step in and just say, we don't condone this behavior. We're pulling the franchise from the owner, and then let the owner just transfer the franchise from their whoever it is to their brother or their spouse or their cousin or their uncle or dad or mom. And then you have an ownership change that they can walk away from and make it look like that. McDonald's can look like they pulled the franchise and made a big deal at it. There's nobody's going to go pull some Chinese corporation papers and find out if they transferred it from one family member to another. So, I mean, that's what I would do personally if I was head of marketing or head of PR for McDonald's. I'd be like, this is what needs to happen.
It sounds like that's what the corporate came out and made the statement about they apologize. They're, love African Americans. They love blacks. They're all into minority, all that whole rigmarole they said.
Right.
But they didn't come out and say, why was the sign put up in the first place? They tried to get into the minutia of, we've got an extenential COVID-19 issue down here. And a lot of people are saying it's coming from the blacks in this other country when the thing started in China. So,
McDonald's, let's not fool ourselves. McDonald's is about that money. That's what they're about. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that McDonald's is a terrible corporate citizen. They're slow to move on some points because they're a big business, and big businesses are often slow to move, but it's not like they're the worst company on the planet, but they're still a big company and they're about that money. So when it comes to protecting their stuff, they're not just going to, they could just say, oh, this is just a little Chinese thing that happened in some city, one of our restaurants, but they understand that this can balloon out, that it can just balloon up and turn into a big, huge issue that can affect the brand globally. And so, they need to get in front of it. All McDonald's really has to do, if I'm McDonald's, in all seriousness, I'm just simply saying, we don't condone this, flat period. We're pulling the franchise from the franchise owner, and that's how we're dealing with this. This will not be tolerated, period. And make it seem like they're taking a hard stance, and just simply talk to the franchise owner and say, okay, you're married. Put it in your wife's name.
Bro, boy, I wish the heavy hand of justice worked like that everywhere. I don't see them doing that. But you got to do something if you're saying that this particular city houses the biggest number of African or blacks in the whole country of China. This particular city near the border. You've got to do something to let people know that they're wanted, because if it has that many of us there, that a lot of them is supporting that McDonald's. They're making money hand over fist in that McDonald's with us. And McDonald's need to do a little more than an apology. I'm with Larry on maybe say we're having African Retribution Day. Everybody that's black gets to come into this McDonald's and you get a free French fry, medium fry.
Medium fry, huh?
Yeah, medium fry, man.
With the purchase of a large sandwich and a drink.
Yeah, we don't want them to have a heart attack or nothing, Larry. Just give them a medium fry.
But they only get the fries with the purchase of a medium of a large sandwich and a drink.
Well, I'm not going to say you got to do all of that. No, you can come in and get your medium fry for free. Or if you know you get, or Larry, you like this, give them a vanilla milkshake for free. Not a chocolate milkshake, a vanilla milkshake for free.
Oh my goodness. You know, it's going to be really interesting to see the way that China is dealing with race and relations with Africans and black people and Africans mostly, because there's a lot of Chinese men that are going to Africa and they're finding black wives. As a lot of people know, there's been a serious shortage of Chinese women in China because when they had the one-child policy, everybody wanted sons, so nobody wanted daughters. You ended up with a very serious shortage of females in the country, and there still is. And a lot of these men that are going over to Africa to work with these various, enterprises that they're doing, whether it's raping and pillaging the natural resources or working for some, import-export company or whatever they're doing. Oftentimes, I know they're doing a lot of construction over there, but you have a lot of these Chinese men that are going there who don't have women back home, and they're meeting African women, and they're getting married and having kids. And there's already been issues about the Chinese government not allowing some of them to bring their wives and their kids back, but they're still having these kids. There's eventually these people are going to bring their kids back, and they're going to bring their wives back, or they're just simply going to say, if I can't bring my family back, I'm not going back. And so they're going to have to deal with this, because eventually you're going to have a whole lot of African Chinese babies running around and grown folks running around, And when you get to people that are, that get to the age of consciousness and they're, 12, 13, 15, whatever, they're going to be like, hey, I'm not just African, I'm also Chinese, and I want to claim my heritage. I want to go back to my father's homeland. And China's going to have to do something. You can do nothing when there's only a handful of them, but once you start getting tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, it's going to be a problem that has to get dealt with.
Well, somebody said, it wasn't me, y'all. I'm just quoting what I heard somebody else say. Somebody else said, once you go black, you never go back. I would have to ask someone in China how they feel about that. But what I do know over here, Young Jeezy done snatched up Jeannie Ma, which is a prime example of what Larry is saying. So yeah. China McDonald's, fix your problems, man. Stop putting up signs that say blacks is banned down, man. It's 2020, man. And Trump is not running your government. What the hell? Let me respond. There's a comment in the comment section.
Okay. From Frank Gilks, I believe it is. You can see it up there. Post it up there right quick.
Yeah.
And Frank, I'm gonna call you out because you put it out there. I'm gonna call you out on this. This to me is the stupidest shit I've heard. I've seen people talk about this on Instagram, that we should boycott Chinese restaurants. And this makes no sense. If somebody in China, if some random restaurant in China or some Chinese people are evicting Africans in China, I get it. If you're in China, maybe you boycott those businesses in China. Mm-hmm. If you know there's a real estate firm that's in China that's evicting Africans and they also do business in the US, maybe we boycott those businesses. But we don't just boycott businesses based off of a race. We don't just say, oh, okay, well, they're doing these bad things in China, so we're going to boycott Chinese restaurants in America. The Chinese people in America, they didn't do anything. They're trying to run a business just like everybody else. You know, if you go to your local Chinese restaurant and they have signs in there that say no blacks, then you start boycotting Chinese restaurants. If we start to see that here in the US, but I mean, that's just bullshit racism masked as a protest. I hate seeing that. That's just ignorance right there. And I'm sorry I had to call you out like that. But no, You don't use a protest to mask your racism. Just don't. I'm not even sorry. I said I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Because you know what? Our people have been victimized by racism for so many years, for 400 plus years. I'm not gonna sit by and apologize for telling someone not to be racist. Just simply be better.
At the end of the day, I'm with Larry. Larry is a little bit more militant than me. Usually, I'm the one that's called the lily loving person on this channel, but I'm definitely with them on this one, just simply because you don't punish the people here in America who have nothing to do with what's going on somewhere else overseas. They don't have nothing to do with that, and you're going to punish them here because their race is messing up somewhere else. You know,
right.
That's just like when we go back to another country in Europe, they're punishing black people because they don't like the Africans that migrate to Europe. So because they see me, you, and Larry visit Europe, they put us all in the same lump and they're going to treat us differently. You know,
right. And I've been to Europe where I've had that happen, and they want to treat you bad until they realize you're an American, and then their whole attitude shifts. But by that time, they've already fucked up the mood.
Yeah. And setting the mood, I learned from Johnny Gill, you got to set the mood right. You know what I mean? You can't be in here being racist, acting funny, treating people differently. Judge people by their behavior and not what color is on their skin. So,
and this is the thing: if we were seeing widespread reports of Asian people that are running, they're running Chinese restaurants and they're telling people in the U.S. no blacks allowed. If they were doing that here, I would understand the calls to protest, but not some place where you have Chinese people in China telling Africans that they're getting evicted and can't go to this restaurant. That you protest them there. You protest that stuff. If you want to protest them, even if you were to say, let's protest McDonald's until McDonald's forces them to act right, I would be okay with that. That's good corporate protesting, but not, let's just boycott Chinese restaurants. Man, that's some thinly veiled racist shit right there, man. Come on, be better.
you trying to sit here to rally in Michigan, huh?
Man, come on.
Boy, I declare, man, the things I learned on this YouTube channel. Larry wanted to send my man to that rally in Michigan that they had the other day. That was nothing but veiled racism under the auspice of freedom. That's what that shit was. I mean, my God. Moving right along. Because
you know what? You know what's funny about the whole thing with Michigan, right? And it was not just Michigan. It was Michigan. They had a protest here in Virginia too, right? And a couple other states. But the thing is, these Trump supporters, these Republicans, these right-wing people, these strict constitutionalists that are all about states' rights. But then they're mad when the states basically say, we're keeping our state closed. And now they want to turn to the federal government and say, oh, no, open it up, force them to open up. No, motherfucker, you said states' rights. You've been screaming states' rights for the last 150 years.
Ever since slavery.
Yeah, you've been screaming states' rights. Well, guess what? This is what states' rights looks like sometimes.
No, but Larry, hold up, man. Are you saying these people are not bright enough to understand that them getting this so-called freedom that they want could possibly kill their asses or make them sick? Is that what you're saying? You're saying
could kill them.
Are you saying that these people are deplorables?
Oh, I have no bones about it. I've said for a long time these people are deplorable. I mean, when Hillary called them the deplorables, people get upset and say that she was wrong for saying that. The problem is that she was absolutely right. They are deplorables. They are deplorable. I mean, when you look at what they're trying to do right now, those people are a clear and present threat to the safety and security of the American people.
Absolutely. As of right now, not to mention this money that they're supposed to have allocated for small business. And I just saw from marketwatch.com this morning of all that money that was supposed to be for small business.
Gone.
And let's just keep this thing real, y'all. They estimate small business as 499 or less. That's not true. Right. The Market Watch study said the majority of small businesses in America is 100 employees or less. Yeah. Of 100 employees or less businesses in America, only 3% of those people got this PPP money. The rest
they're not getting
fucking Roof Chris, Fleming Prime Steakhouse chains, Omaha Steaks. It was
Outback.
Folks, it was in the bag from the beginning. It was in the bag from the beginning. It sounded good. He tried to give the American people hope like he was doing something right, and it turned out to go to hell in a handbasket all over again. But we're going to come back to that. We're going to come back.
Can I ask you to do one thing right quick?
Yeah, go for it.
So Frank responded again. Put his comment back up there because he said something else. He did come back and respond. I like to make sure that brothers get their proper due when they take a moment to breathe and think about what they said and they come back with something more sensible. I want to make sure that their comments are recognized as well. So, I don't want the brother to think I'm going in just extra hard on them. You're right. Racism often comes from ignorance, and we have to make sure that we are not ignorant. And those of us that are ignorant, those of us that are not ignorant, it's our duty to inform those that are. And it's happened to me. It'll happen to you. It's going to happen to me again and again over the course of my life. I will find myself in a place of ignorance, and somebody will educate me.
But here's the problem I'm running into with us trying to educate each other. Larry, there's a whole lot of fake woke folks out there. Right. I mean, I'm about to tell you a statement that people have put on my comments or on my Facebook that burns me the hell up. When somebody tells me, they'll make a blanket statement and then they'll say, do your research. I'm like, you fucking idiot. Don't be making blanket statements if you can't support what you're saying with what you have researched. And then tell me to go digging around somewhere to research what you found that might not be the same exact damn thing you was reading. Cite your fucking sources.
You know what that is? That's an intellectual surrender. That's what it is.
All day.
That's what it is. It's just like when you get into an argument with some dude who tries to claim he's not racist, and then he comes or turns around and calls you a nigger. You know what he did? He just gave you a surrender. He basically said, you won the argument. I have nothing more for you. So all I have left to do is call you a name. That's it.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. It's just them throwing up the white flag and not even the white flag because they're not surrendering peacefully. They're just saying, I have nothing left. You won. And so I'm basically throwing a grenade out there and blowing everything up because I have nothing left.
Pretty much. That's what it is, man. My homie Albion on Fleet want to know where you get that green screen from, Larry, in the back.
Oh, man, this isn't a green screen. This is a light. Let me show you. This is my light right here. So this is actually see if I get this in focus for you, if I can see it. This is the suit photo light, and I can change it. So I'm green right now. I'm going to change this here. And originally I was planning on going blue tonight, but then I forgot to change. I just turned the light on because I was running a little behind. So let's go blue. I'm gonna turn this up, and then just like that, bling! I'm rocking the blue screen.
Now we're gonna move on to what I know everybody came here to see. Everybody wants to know who made the top 10 worst breath in Hollywood. I know y'all want to know that. Y'all itching to know who's got the worst halitosis in all of Hollywood, because you see these celebrities, you look at them and you think, oh, they look good and nice all on the outside, but then when you get on the inside, it's nothing but a big old void of ass smell coming out the mouth. So, Larry, I want you to give me one celebrity that you just look at physically and think, damn, their breath got to be horrible. Just one. I'm going to see if it make this list.
Just one. Mm-hmm. Man. All right, there's two. I'm gonna give one that's black and one that's white.
Okay.
one that just looks like his breath stinks because he just kind of looks like he smells bad. He looks like one of them dudes that's sweaty and doesn't shower every day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Joaquin Phoenix. He just looks like he looks like he always is right. And so his breath is probably funky too, but he looks like he just walks around right all the time.
Now, Larry, you know they tried to play me when I did my review of the Joker.
Uh-huh.
I called my man Jaquan, and the white people went in on me. He does not spell his name Joaquin.
He doesn't.
Jaquan. I don't care what you try to tell me. I don't care. That's just like me telling somebody my name is spelled Lamont on paper, right?
Mm.
And it's like I said, I go tell you my name is Lamaster. It's not Lamont, it's Lamaster.
You see my name is spelled. You see how my name is spelled Larry. You know what my name really is?
What's that?
Rick. Huh? Yep, that's it. That's how you spell Rick.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Your name is Larry. His name is Jaquan. And finish your other person.
But yeah, so he looks like he's ripe all the time. Like he just smells. He looks like one of them dudes that would go for like a hike in the canyon.
Yep.
And lay out at the beach all day, suntan and sweaty, and then not go and take a shower. He just go put some new clothes on and then go out to the club, and you smell that waft as he walks through you, and you turn like, damn, who's funky in here? That he seems like he'd be one of them dudes that's just stale.
You said he smell like outside. You know what outside smell like?
Right, he smelled like exactly. He smells like outside. Exactly. He smells like outside. Exactly. Oh, I forgot about that. I'm about to use that. He smells like outside. So
who else?
Him and then Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle looks like his breath stinks because he smokes and he looks like he has that smell where all his breath always smells like super stale cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks like he has that real bad smoker's breath, Not like he doesn't look like he has like doo-doo breath like anything. He just looks like he has like real bad smoker's breath.
Oh, my man Albie on Fleek said Mick Foley looks like his. He do.
Wait, who's Mick Foley?
Mick Foley is from WWE wrestling. He used to be Mankind back in the WCW days.
Oh, that's Mankind is Mick Foley?
Mankind, Mick Foley, and Cactus Jack.
I didn't know that.
And it looked like his breath would smell like some damn cactus. That's what it looked like he'd been gnawing on, cactus or two. But getting to the list, compiled by NickSwift.com, number one on the list is Ben Affleck.
Really?
Many people on the set of Justice League and his previous movies have always complained about his breath, even after him coming out the bathroom brushing his teeth.
Really?
Number two. Now, this might make you mad, Larry.
Uh-oh.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence has bad breath?
Jennifer Lawrence breath smell like rotten apples.
Really?
Jennifer Lawrence, yes.
Oh no, that might have to be she might qualify for the, you don't get rid of a Rolls Royce because it has a dent rule,
Yeah. But that's just number two on the list.
All right.
Number three, Britney Spears. They say her breath smell like pickle spears.
Really?
Yeah, man.
I wouldn't have thought that, but she's been into some weird stuff, so she might have one of those crazy, organic artisanal, diets where she's eating,
fucking
pickled horseradish or something for gut health or something.
Seeds and Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Now, this person, everybody's going to be in agreement with this person.
Okay.
Because of what we know they have done. Lamar Odom from the LA Lakers.
Yeah, he might have some drug breath of some sort. Maybe he might have pipe mouth or something.
That's exactly what they said he's got. That crack that crack mouth.
Yeah, he might have rotted teeth or something, or bad gums or something that's causing him to have that. He might be able to get that taken care of. That might not be a permanent thing if he gets his life right.
Well, that means he's going to have to remove those gold caps out of his mouth that he got permanently put in there, and that could be a pricey ordeal.
Yeah.
Jason Segel.
Jason Segel. Why can't I picture that?
He's a director/actor. He's been on Saturday Night Live a couple of times.
Jason Segel.
Take a quick look. And as you looking him up, I'm gonna
go. Oh, yeah. I know him. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't look like he would be particularly funky, but I can see. Maybe he just has some halitosis. He looks like one of them dudes that probably just has like halitosis. He needs to get his tongue scraped every other day.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, this person, these, as a matter of fact, these next two people, you will easily be like, I can see that with them. So first one, the person just looked dirty. Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I can see that. Johnny Depp is another one of those dudes. He reminds me of another dude like Joaquin Phoenix. Like he probably just is always right.
Yeah.
He just looks like he's probably always right. Like he probably just never smells completely fresh.
But here's the problem. Calvin Klein and other colognes put him as their poster child. They talking about his breath is number 7 on the hottest in Hollywood.
Whew. I mean, he is a big name. Can you
spray that stuff in your mouth?
That's probably why we don't see him do a lot of love scenes. We always see him doing his thing, but we don't see a lot of love scenes with him. That could be why. He might just be like, I don't want to do those movies. I'm self-conscious. I know my breath is funky. I don't want to do it.
Can you spray those colognes in your mouth and not die?
Probably. It's mostly alcohol. You probably could drink some of it.
Hey, man. He needs to be spraying.
A little alcohol, water, and patchouli?
Because
that's basically what it is.
Look, we have just heard a lot of the housewives in America that watch this channel because they all want to jump Johnny Depp's bones.
Yeah, well, you know.
Next on this list that you can look at and be like, I can see that because sometimes she just looks a little liberally dirty. Angelina Jolie.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Really?
And, yeah, and sometimes to me, she do like all she do is hug trees without putting on lotion. I can picture that.
Man, you know, Angelina Jolie, she's like, for whatever reason, she reminds me of one of those, like, she reminds me of those chicks that probably smells like an organic farmer's market or something. Like, I always think of her smelling like those Jamaican, you know, bark sticks. You know them things that those dudes just sell at the corner. You know, like the guys that have the little pop-up tables that sell like the ends, like the perfume oils and the wooden sticks you chew on. The little. She reminds me that she would smell like that, but I guess she's got funky breath. Okay.
And black soap, they sell all that good stuff.
Yeah, all that good stuff. You know?
Man. Jessica Simpson. Now they explicitly explain what her issue is. In a recent interview, she explained that she only likes to brush her teeth 3 times a week. Reason being, she doesn't like the way her teeth feel after they've been brushed.
Yeah, that's a problem. She needs to at least get some Listerine and just swish it around every couple of hours if you're not going to brush your teeth every day. Look, just for good oral health, you need to get that bacteria out your mouth.
When we get done with this list, I'm going to give everybody the recipe to fix that. Hugh Grant, he's on the list.
Hugh Grant? Really? little British romantic dude. Well, you know, the British aren't really known for their oral health care. So, I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but, you know, that I guess I still am. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe he's the same way. Maybe he doesn't brush his teeth, you know. Maybe he drinks too much Earl Grey.
And last but definitely not least on the list of halitosis in Hollywood, our good friend, Wendy Williams. They say her mouth smells like Oscar the Grouch live inside of it.
Wow.
Now, folks, I'm going to give all y'all the remedy for bad breath. Okay. I don't care how horrible your breath is. I don't care if your breath smells bad because you're missing 5 teeth in your mouth. There is a gum that I've been chewing for years that will get rid of it, and it's called Trident White. Let me tell you how tough this gum is. I'm gonna tell y'all an old story when I was dating. Let me tell you an old story when I was dating.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. I had this woman who really, really adored me, and we do our thing the night before, and she's the type that want to wake up and do some more in the morning.
Nothing wrong with that.
Only issue is, sometimes people breath, they tend to grow a little bacteria at night.
Yes, there is that.
So what I would do that would fix that whole problem, I would throw some of that gum up in my mouth, go to sleep with it in my mouth, wake up, start chewing it. Instantly, my breath is clean. And when I kiss her, my clean breath rubs through her bacteria, and it's all good for the morning.
All good. All
That's
good.
How white is.
Yeah. And if you don't want to do the gum, keep those little Listerine strips by the bed. You can pop those in there, and you'll wake up with minty fresh breath. And if you kiss them, your breath is so fresh, they don't realize how funky theirs is. So both of you are good, and they don't feel self-conscious.
That's what I did with that gum, folks. I was ahead of the curve when that Trident White first came out. No need for anybody in Hollywood to be on set with halitosis when you can just go buy $1 pack of Trident White. Next year, this list need to be different.
I'll be right back. I'm about to go grab my gum.
Oh, hell. Oh, my Lord. Well, while he's grabbing gum, ladies and gentlemen, what y'all up to tonight? Let me shout out everybody. Mike Willie, Alvin on Fleek, CBF, BMC, my man, Mike, Linda. What are y'all doing tonight? Tim, of course, he's always in here showing that big time love. What kind of plans y'all got? My man, Frank.
I figured since I was getting my gum, I ought to refill my wine too.
My man Frank said he used that Trident White. He said that's all he needs.
Get some of these icebreakers right here. Icebreaker ice cubes.
My issue with icebreaker, it don't last as long as Trident White. That's my only issue with icebreaker. The only issue I got.
Okay.
And my folk Tressa C says, where's T-Streams? T-Streams is unavailable tonight. He is a married man. And every now and then his wife has strict demands of his time and his services.
What's up, Tressa? We're not pretty enough for you?
Right. You know what I'm saying? What we need to do? I need to put on some glasses or something. You know, like my Rona haircut. You know what I mean?
I gotta go shape my beard up and get some stuff to take the gray out. I'm not pretty enough for you. You gotta have your T-Streams.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Instead of coming up here saying, "Hey fellas, how y'all doing? Where's T-Streams?" Her ass jumped straight to where is T-Stream? Like she's demanding his butt.
Like where? I didn't come to see y'all. Where's T-Streams?
Okay, so she came back and said, "We make a nice trio." So what you say?
Okay.
So you
try
said
to clean it up.
You on two?
Clean it up.
Hey, Larry, I'm still upset about that. She don't like 2-on-2 action. She got to have threesomes all the time.
Woo!
Oh Lord.
Wow.
Oh Lord, now she really got. She said we all her daddy age. Oh my Lord, have mercy.
That means she's the right age. That means she's the right age. Doesn't she know the rule? It's half your age plus 7.
Boy,
there you go. Half your age. Let me see. Let me go ahead and see what that is for me.
Ain't nobody tell that to R. Kelly.
What?
Ain't nobody tell that to R. Kelly.
Oh my goodness gracious. Here we go. Let's see. Oh yeah, see, I'm good. I'm 31. I got 31. I got 31 right there. So there we go. That's my age. So but I like older women. So I married a woman my senior. But if I was gonna remarry, if my wife decides she was gonna leave me for a uglier man, because that's all that anyone could do. But if she was gonna leave me for an uglier man, or she got hit by she got hit on the runway by a jumbo jet or something, then I guess my second would be 31 years old because half your age plus 7.
Teresa says she is 27. Teresa,
close enough.
I'm not even 40. You mean to tell me your daddy is my age? He's 13 years older than you. I ain't even 40 yet.
That's perfect age for you if you're almost 40, because that's half. That's 20 plus 7. That's 27. She's right up your alley.
See, boy. Well,
you know?
I'm gonna have to keep bringing and delivering the news the way her dad would instruct it and drop that knowledge on her. So, Larry,
she don't want us anyway. She wants T-streams. She wants her T-streams. T-streams, I hope you're watching this because we're up there right now talking about your old pretty ass. Yeah, we're talking about you.
She said she respects everybody's marriage. She's a woman of dignity and respect.
I feel you on that. It's all fun. Mm-hmm. All three of us brothers are married. We all love our wives, so there you go. Even during the quarantine. That's how you know you love your wife. When you're in the middle of the quarantine and you don't have any bruises on your cheek, you don't have any bandages. When you move, you can move freely because you haven't been abused or beat up in your sleep. That's how you know you love your wife and she loves you too.
Mike Willie says he loves the t-shirts we be wearing. Well, you can get this t-shirt I'm wearing with Rosa Parks, American Hero, shoplifegains.com, baby. You can get that t-shirt from there.
I like that. Shoplifegains.com. Let me see if I can go over to that website right quick.
Yeah, you can get over there. You get yourself a Rosa Parks American Heroes t-shirt. I'm thinking about putting the Martin Luther King one in there soon.
Can we get a Panthers one? Can we get a Panthers food program one?
Who?
A Black Panthers food program one?
Hey, man, you can get whatever you want. I'll be on it.
All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, I like that. All right. Yeah. I'm not mad at you. There we go.
I never promote my stuff. I should promote it, but I never promote my stuff.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like that. That looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to promote your stuff for you.
Yeah. And we got COVID-19 news for y'all, ladies and gentlemen. The news broke out yesterday, the Washington Post, that there's this new drug called Remdesivir that has shown great promise in working against COVID-19. They did a controlled study of about 500 people that had COVID-19. 68% of the symptoms were improved amongst people, and 10% of the people died. So while this drug was originally made for Ebola, and they've been synthesized it and broke it down a little bit.
And it didn't work well for Ebola either.
It didn't. Larry, are you excited for this drug? I'm looking up the drug makers because if they are on the stock market, that is definitely going to be somebody we need to invest in. How do you feel about this drug coming to market?
Man, part of me feels like as far as the investment, as soon as they made this announcement, it was probably too late. I mean, you could probably get on the tail end of the upside, but all the real growth has probably already happened. But I'm excited about it. I think it's a very, very big deal if this is something that's going to really work well for people. I mean, even if you're talking about 10%, that's a pretty significant, number or percentage of people that would have adverse effects. I don't think that's enough. That number is too high, I think, to get past FDA approval. But because of our current climate and how serious this is, I think they can probably get emergency approval, conditionally for when people really need it. So if you're in the hospital, you're on a ventilator, they probably can get approval to use a drug for you then. But I think they'll probably have to continue to work on it to get the drug to have better, to have a better percentage or less of a percentage of adverse effects to people, less people dying and whatever else. So, but I mean, it's exciting to think that there's potentially a treatment for it. I mean, it's better. I mean, obviously we want a vaccine, but if the next best thing to a vaccine is actually having something that can actually, if not cure you, at least treat you to the point that your body can then fight it off itself.
Right. And to further elaborate on what's going on with the virus and coming up with a treatment, Bill Gates has spent $2 billion
with a B
would be to manufacture warehouses around the world to mass produce the first viable vaccine when it becomes available.
Right.
His whole mission is to make sure that the minute the scientists have the formula ready, that they can go push it in all these warehouses and get them out to the necessary people across the world.
You know what Bill Gates is doing?
What's that?
So this is what Bill Gates is doing. You know how the Bible says it is easier for a rich man, it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to make it into the kingdom of God. I think what Bill Gates did was create a supercomputer and calculated out what exactly needed to happen for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. And now he is doing everything that he has to do so that he can go through into the kingdom of God. Because that man is doing his damnedest to do right by the world with his money.
You know, couldn't it be that he just wants to do right? He doesn't believe in a higher power.
That's what everybody says until they need one.
I mean, I guess not, but hey, I commend him. He could just be sitting back on his millions, living the boring life, just blowing it left and right. I've seen his house. It's not that big for what you would think someone who's a multi-billionaire would be living in.
Right.
You know what? If it helps more people, keep the work going, Bill Gates. I support you, William. Keep it going.
Don't forget about Melinda. She's out there doing her works too. Right.
She is. She's out there doing the thing. In other news, COVID-19 news, ladies and gentlemen, we started this program, me and Larry, debating how the protection programs, the payment programs for the American people and the small business have been abject failures.
Right.
We get Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin basically saying that he feels like the $1,200 plus unemployment and the PPP program is enough for people to live off of for 10 weeks.
10 weeks.
For 10 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, that just shows you how out of touch leadership is currently and how out of touch people who get into leadership are. We've argued several times, me and Larry, that there needs to be some more of a different litmus test to get into office, because most of these people who get into office, they're not living like the everyday person anymore because they can't. You can't legitimately run any major campaign and be living like a middle-class person.
I mean, let's just be real. Most people in this country cannot pay their rent for a single month with $1,200.
Yep.
Most people cannot. Your rent or your mortgage cannot be paid with $1,200 a month. So if you can't even pay your rent for 4 weeks with $1,200, how are you supposed to live for 10 with that same amount of money?
Just ridiculous. And so the Democrats in the Congress heard this foolishness, and we dropped this on y'all Wednesday. They proposed $2,000 a month from now all the way to September to help the people that didn't get anything this time. The criteria was 16 and older, U.S. citizen. You made less than $130,000 as an individual, not as a household, as an individual last year.
Why do they keep excluding people, man? I want everyone in my household to get their money.
Because you do have some households where one person might make $200,000 and the other one only make $30,000.
Exactly. And I want everybody in the household to get their money. I don't care if they make 200 or 30. Everyone should get. If you're a U.S. citizen, you pay taxes or not, you should get the money.
They don't work like that, bro. They don't work like that. It's wrong. It's crooked. And a lot of people in this whole little issue right here got screwed. However, since Wednesday, 117 people have jumped on board. Congressional folks have jumped on board at making this $2,000 a month a possibility. Larry, do you believe it's going to happen?
I don't think it's going to happen. I'll tell you why. If this would have come up during the earlier stimulus bills, I think it was a possibility. But now that they're talking about opening, states back up, and these people up there trying to get all this stuff open, they're going to turn around and say, "Oh, there's not a need for it. People are going back to work now. Let the economy recover on its own." Yada yada yada. I don't think it's going to happen. The only way that I think it really will happen is if we have another big spike, nationally, and they have to just enlarge, just really in large scale shutdown again, and businesses are struggling, both small and large, and so the government's like, okay, well, let's put $2,000 in the hands of everybody. And that way they can spend money with the Walmarts and the Amazons and the local restaurants and the Safeways and Albertsons and Food Lion and wherever else. But as long as they start talking about we're going to open stuff back up, they're going to simply say, nah, there's no need for it. By the time we pass this bill and get the first checks out, people will be back to work anyway. So basically we'll just be giving them free money. So I don't think they're going to do it.
Well, what the fuck did they just give all these private, big, large businesses? They just gave them free money. So,
and not even just business. One thing they're not really talking about is with this stimulus package, they removed the cap that they have on deductions. So people who are able to they were already donating money, or people who have particular types of deductions, whether it's your house or your yacht or your private plane or the gas for your plane, all these things that people were previously would have deducted, but there were caps on it. They can now continue to deduct all these things up to the point of $1.7 million. So basically, while we were all running around thinking we're going to get $1,200, these multimillionaires are getting a $1.7 million check. And now their check's a little different because their check is not going to come in direct deposit in their account. Their check is going to come in the form of a tax break because there's no longer a cap on their deductions.
And on top of that, most of those people, one way or the other one, got their hands on stimulus money. A lot of them did. So not only do you get to expense out going buying you a fleet of Teslas if you want to and say it's for the damn business, but you also got this money on the back end coming in, while the backbone of America, the small business, got screwed. I think,
and they're out of money.
I think this is a counterintuitive issue. Number one, it seems like the government and our president is trying to get the economy open so that people can go spend this money when the time is not right for that. He wants the economy back open so that he doesn't have to allocate more money, because the people he wanted to get money right now, the big businesses, they done got paid. They done got their money. So he doesn't really want small business and regular folk to get no money. He wants y'all to get out there spending these stimulus checks that are supposed to be arriving from now through the end of the month, spending that in the economy at the behest of getting sick.
Right.
And if you get sick, this whole thing is going to have to happen all over again. At that point, you're almost going to be forced to have to give the American people a bailout because they're already hurting now. Like Larry said, $1,200 can be eaten up between McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. I mean, that's just not a lot of money. And I know if you're desperate, you're destitute, and you have nothing, it's a help. I'm not saying it's not a help. I'm saying there are some places in America where the mortgage is more than $1,200 for a one-bedroom. There are some
I live in a two-bedroom, and that's not covering my rent.
Right. Where I live at in Greensboro, if you live in a decent neighborhood with 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, that's $1,000. You got a car payment, it's going to be more than $200. You got insurance, you got utilities, you got food. So on one hand, ladies and gentlemen, it would be good to see that money get into the hands of people who didn't get anything. Right. On the other hand, me and Larry see what the government is trying to do. They're trying to open up now so that the money that they just sent to people, they think they're going to get out and spend it. But ladies and gentlemen, there are going to be a lot of small businesses that ain't coming back because the banks didn't work with them. The banks didn't give them any money. There's going to be some small businesses that are going to open back up. And because there ain't no money coming into them, because people done got accustomed to going to Walmart, the grocery store, and Dollar Tree, they might not come back to the mom and pops.
There's
And
going
then
to be some big businesses that don't come back too.
Gatherings. A lot of people ain't going to want to go to restaurants with large gatherings, which is going to hurt their bottom line for them even more weeks. So I think it's a catch-22, folks. I think it's a 50-50. It could go either way because Trump wants something to get more people to vote for him. That would be about the only way I would see he would stroke this check when all the rich people around him are just like, don't give them nothing. He might want to stroke that check because, number one, it'll make him look good in the eyes of voters. And number two, if people have that surplus of money, then they probably will get out and go spend it on mom and pop businesses.
The only other reason why why the rich might be like okay with them giving a stimulus check out like this is because if there's not the masses of people out there spending money on necessities, they're not making money. Because let's be real, when you are wealthy, your largest expenditure by far is taxes. That's it. When you are a millionaire or a multimillionaire, your largest annual expense every year is taxes. And because the vast majority of our wealth is all up in like 1%, it's not even really 1%, it's more like 0.5% that of the people that control the vast majority of the wealth in this world and this country. That if the rest of us don't have any money to spend, guess what? They're not making all that money anymore. They may have it, but they're just sitting on it. They're not making it anymore because if I can't afford to buy food, if I can't afford to buy a new iPad, if I can't afford to buy a new car, if the dumbass kid down the street who doesn't have any money anyways can't afford to buy his new $250, $300 Jordans, guess what? They're not making any money. So the only way they're really going to make money is if we have money to spend with them. And so they will have some interest in making sure that we have money, at least enough that we can push upstairs to them. Because if they're dependent on just themselves for money, well, I mean, if you're a rich dude, you only need to eat so much. I mean, you can only drive so many cars. You can only have so many, you can only go so many places and have so many planes and yachts. So, I mean, after a while, you just don't need as much. But where you really make your money is off of consumables, when everyday people have to buy milk and egg and cheese and shoes and jeans and cell phones and computers and whatever else. They're making their money off of stuff that people need to buy every day. But that's because you're talking about 90-some% of the population. If you're wholly dependent upon only the rich people, the rich class, the wealthy class, you're not making any money. You're just not making any money. I mean, you need to make sure that people that don't have a lot have enough to buy stuff. You need to make sure that the person who only makes $27,000 a year can feel like he's a king because he can walk into Walmart and buy a 75-inch TV for $350. If you can't do that, you're not making money because he doesn't have any money to spend.
Yeah. Some of us out here tired of trying to feel like we're a king just in the Dollar Tree. Damn it.
Dollar Tree king.
I can get me 50 items. I'm tired of just feeling like the king of the Dollar Tree. We want to feel like we the king of the Tesla king. That's what we want to feel like.
That's what I'm saying right there. I'm gonna get me a Tesla. I want to be a Tesla king.
Hey man. Hey.
I want my EV crown.
You use my promo code. In TV, movie, and streaming news, ladies and gentlemen, HBO is coming out with their new service called HBO Stream Max. Two of their flagship shows that they're trying to have, live action Green Lantern, and just released yesterday, Justice League Dark, to be produced by a company called Bad Robot, which is owned by J.J. Abrams. Larry, are you excited for these to be the staples of the HBO Max stream service?
I'm sort of excited about Bad Robot doing the Justice League because it might actually get done right for once.
Now, mind you, I said Justice League Dark. That's not going to be Superman, Batman, all that. It's going to be Swamp Thing, Constantine, all the magical characters, mystical. It's going to be the magical characters. Edric the Demon.
The B team.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. Well, I will say this. The B team could be legit if it's done right. Because when they did the Neighborhood series for Marvel on Netflix, when they did all the neighborhood stuff like Iron Fist and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and all them, they did most of them right. Iron Fist was kind of garbage. He was kind of garbage, but Luke Cage was legit, and Jessica Jones was my joint. I loved me some Jessica Jones. So
I like Daredevil season 1. I thought that was right.
Yeah, Daredevil was legit, and the Punisher was legit too. I mean, they did the whole Marvel Neighborhood series right.
Well, they did. DC has done basically, they've done the Titans, and that show go hard. If you ain't watched Titans on DC streaming service, show go hard, folks. It's a little bit more darker than what you would see on the CW. Way darker than CW. I mean, they actually show people bones getting broke on that show. And if they can kind of go that way and make this thing creepy and eerie. Matter of fact, they had a Swamp Thing series on Netflix, and they had to pull the plug mid-season of season 1 because the funding got stopped because North Carolina supposedly pulled the tax breaks. Supposedly.
Oh, really?
And the show was actually pretty good. It was creepy and scary, and it was pretty good.
Man, they should have moved to New Orleans. New Orleans gives all kinds of tax breaks.
I don't know what the hell North Carolina is doing, man. I don't know what we're doing, but it's going to be on this one. And then speaking of which, my man Sean Green, he's done some homework on the Green Lantern series they're doing. And I read up on it today. And Larry, that one is probably going to be real good too.
Is it going to be legit?
Yeah, where the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern ended.
Okay.
Where Sinestro got that yellow ring of fear. They're going to pick up on that story as he gets his fear core versus the Green Lantern core.
So we're going to have a human Green Lantern or an alien one?
No, it's going to be all of them.
All of them, okay.
All of them. You're going to get the black one, the black dude. You're going to get the white dude, and you're going to get all the lanterns across the universe. This is going to be a universe show. It's not going to be on Earth.
Okay.
Yeah,
right, I'm thinking that. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, I'm about that.
So yeah, man. So folks, that's pretty much all we got for you. Larry, give them some suggestions and tell them what time you're going live tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be going live tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's 6 p.m. for you West Coast people. It could be 7 or 8, depending on where you are in the mountains or the Central Time. I'll be on with my friend Pam Bam. We'll be talking about movies and TV shows and whatnot. I
might photobomb their show. I might photobomb them people. So if you want to watch all 3 of us, you might want to tune in tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. I just got finished watching The Banker and some other shows. I watched a little bit of Black as Fuck, and I've got some hot takes about that piece of crap.
Oh yeah, I watched a little bit too. I was on it. So I was running a little late because I was watching the second episode as we were getting ready to go on, and I was like, oh snap, I need to throw my computer over here in my studio and get going. So but that show is good. It's definitely funny. It is fun. Yeah. It's funny. It is as its title suggests. It is what it is. It is great. I've been watching a show called Most Dangerous Game on Quibi. So if you haven't checked out Quibi is it's a new streaming service that is only right now on mobile devices. It's on your phones. It's on your tablets. So you can't watch it on your computers. You can't put it on your streaming devices. You can't even mirror it to your big screen. They really designed it to be on your mobile devices. And they're small, they're short form shows. So each episode is only like 7, 8, 10 minutes. So they say that everything's 10 minutes or less. So, but the show that I'm watching is called Most Dangerous Game with I believe it's Chris Hemsworth, the dude that played what was
Thor.
he? Captain? Huh?
Chris Hemsworth was Thor.
Yeah, Thor. That's right. So, but it's interesting. It's the premise is it's a guy who's sick, and there's a group of people that kind of want to hunt him. They have a game. They have a competition, a hunting. It's sort of like what's that movie with Ice-T where they used to find the homeless people and folks and they would hunt them. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, whatever that movie was, it's like that. There's that. People have been doing that a lot lately. Like they had that. They had the other movie, The Hunt. They had that other movie recently with the chick who went home with her new husband, and they had to play a game, and one of them was where they had to hunt the other. I think it was hide and seek. I think they called it. So, anyways, it's similar to that where the dude's up there, he's going to play a game where he has to be hunted for 24 hours and yada, yada. So, I mean, I kind of understand where they're going with it already. So it's not like that particular show might have been a bad first one for me to pick, but but the thing is, it's actually a really good show. It's really well acted, well directed, well shot. It is what you would think of as traditionally high quality, big budget Hollywood production. So,
okay.
Anyways, it's on Quibi. They do have a free 90-day trial, so you can sign up on your iPhone or your Android phone and or tablet and check it out.
Cool. Well, Larry, get us out of here, man. We will holler at y'all. The three of us should be back on Monday, but if not, swing on over to Larry's channel tomorrow. I think I'm going to make a guest appearance.
Yeah, I'll have to send you a link. I'll have to send you a link so you can pop through for a bit if you want to. So, yeah. All right, everyone. Well, it's been real. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing out and having fun. If you are a Trusted C, thanks for being a good sport as we tease you about your T-Stream crush. And, for the brother that I went hard on earlier about the Chinese food, understand. I'm glad you came back and said what you said. Understand that, it is our responsibility as brothers to protect each other from falling down a dark route when we shouldn't. So, it is what it is. And everybody give Lamont a big thumbs up this way for, having a great show and having me on, because I really appreciate him, giving me a platform to talk to you guys every other day. So anyways, until next time, it has been real, and love, peace, and hair grease. Peace.
Peace.